Let's go to the Ministry of Health.
Thank you very much indeed, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, could I just start by saying that indeed I am aware that my colleague is ill-disposed and would have loved to be here himself, because I personally spoke to him on my way here, wanting to know whether he is coming, and I'm aware that he is ill-disposed. So I think it's good also to clarify that and to clear that it is not, he did not leave, he did not come here intentionally. And I would like to clarify that. He wanted to rest the case with my friend, Sheikh.
Thank you, CS. Thank you.
Madam Chair, let me start from the outset by saying that I am here to clarify a number of things that have been raised both by Parliament, and by Parliament I mean both houses, and issues that have also arisen in the public mind as a result of the communication that has been going on in regards to COVID-19 in general, and specific issues that have been raised that involve matters of transparency, matters of management, and matters of accountability. From the outset, Madam Chair, let me say that when it comes to matters of accountability and matters of transparency, my ministry is determined that this is going to be the case. We are determined to clear every single item and every single issue that may be in doubt as far as this committee is concerned, this House is concerned, and the Kenyan people, because it is only fair and right that they do so. We have no intentions of protecting anybody. We have no intentions of hiding anything. And Madam Chair, I will do my best to clarify any issue at all that may have a reason between the time I was here and give specific details and the time and this time round. And just to say, Madam Chair, that it is important for this to happen. You have rightly said yourself that what happens is that when there are gaps, then you'll find that people will make up, or creativity will intervene. And that creativity, while important and good, is also important to clear, because it plays around with people's reputations, it plays around with people's names, and so on, and people's careers. And especially at this time, when this disease is still ravaging us, it is still continuing, day in, day out. COVID-19 as a virus is not finished. It is not a past tense. It's a present tense. Today, we will be announcing some people who have got the disease, and tomorrow we'll be announcing others. God help us that tomorrow we'll have no deaths and so on. But I think it is good to bring it to light that as we discuss these matters, let us not discuss COVID-19 as if it is over. It is here and present, and will continue in the foreseeable future. And we pray to God that the people, that we do not lose any persons to this disease, as is currently happening both in Kenya and elsewhere in the world. So for me, Madam Chair, there are a number of issues that you have alluded to and have been asked to respond to. And what I propose is I will respond to the general questions. We have got the details of every single item that I'm going to mention. Every single thing I'm going to say has got an annex, a very detailed annex of what is included in it, and I'll be happy to respond to each one of those issues. Madam Chair, the first item I'm supposed to respond to by way of answer is the role played by the Ministry of Health in clearing Jack Ma's Foundation COVID-19 supplies donation and other donations. Madam Chair, let me just say this, that following what you have just heard, the clearance of any government donations is in the hands of the Ministry of Transport, as has been indicated. And indeed, we confirm that as the ministry itself has indicated, it is true that that's what we got. The general procedure of receiving donations in the ministry is through communication received from donors directly or through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, informing the intention of donating commodities, equipment, or services, and their quantities, when to be received, and the point of entry or delivery. The ministry then gets in touch with the government clearing agency, which is responsible for the clearance of government cargo, to confirm arrival and requirements for clearance. Once the commodities are cleared, they are transported to KEMSA or to KEMRI for storage and subsequent distribution. In regard to JACMA donations, the Ministry of Health received communication from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for 3 consignments. Those 3 consignments are in Annex 1 of this document. The second JACMA Foundation donation came in 2 consignments. The first consignment was received from the government clearing agency on the 15th of April and cleared and delivered to KEMSA on the same day. Annex 3 of the document here spells exactly how that happened. And as Kas Obure had indicated, that is precisely what happened. The second consignment was received from the government clearing agency on the 28th of May 2020 and delivered to KEMSA on the same day. The details of the consignment are in Annex 4. The third JACMA Foundation donation was received on the 24th of May 2020 and delivered to KEMSA on the same day. That is Annex 5. In regards to local donations, the Ministry of Health was notified by donors on the intent, and continues, by the way, to be notified by donors who intend to support the fight against COVID-19, indicating what type of donations, quantities of donations, and sometimes the donors specifically indicate who they want to give their donations to, or what type of donations they believe are more useful than other times. And since this is a donation, we sometimes confer with them and agree. If a donor wants to donate to a specific county, we have no issues with it. We receive and take as they donate. Madam Chair, on the role of the Cabinet Secretary on KEMSA management and procurement of COVID-19 health products and technologies, Madam Chair, let me just respond as follows, and if you allow me, explain a little bit more. To say that the role of a Cabinet Secretary, not just Mutahi Kagwe, the role of a Cabinet Secretary is to provide policy and strategic guidance and leadership, in this specific case to KEMSA, but widely in the institutions under each ministry. Madam Chair, this is an important question that you raised, because it refers largely to some of the things that I have personally been verified for regarding my intervention or so-called interference with...
Chair, point of order, Chair.
What is out of order?
I request Wasiri not to clean himself here, because when as we have information, let him go direct to...
Honorable Koros,
Please,
you can also not gag him, allow him to speak, then you can make your judgment. I think we have called him here to express himself. Once he does so, it is for the committee to come up with a conclusion. So let's allow him to proceed. Proceed, CS.
Thank you, Madam Chair, for the protection. Madam Chair, may I be very clear that the role of a Cabinet Secretary in any institution is essentially to give guidance, is essential to provide leadership, and Madam Chair, all Cabinet Secretaries must at all times be in touch with the institutions which they run. Otherwise, what would they be doing? Madam Chair, in this instance regarding KEMSA, and in direct response to the question that you have asked, of course, Madam Chair, I have engaged KEMSA repeatedly especially over that COVID-19 period. And Madam Chair, it is my job to do so. It is my job to talk to the ministries. Madam Chair, as we speak right now, the KEMRI boss is here with me. We consult. Last time I was here, We were with the chair of Kenyatta National Hospital. We consort. There is not a single CEO that I don't consort with continuously because, Madam Chair, it is my job to communicate policy. It is my job to communicate government strategy to the respective institutions that I have in my ministry. Madam Chair, in this specific case, for example, we were in a crisis. And Madam Chair, yes, we do not micromanage the institutions which we run. But we were in a crisis. And I can repeat, and I can give you examples of meetings that I had with the chair, with the CEO of that institution. I called in the people from Kemri, and the boss is here. I called in even lab technologists and technicians to discuss in a crisis where we knew nothing about. Which are the reagents that we need? Where do we get them from? What are the other items that we are going to need to fight COVID-19? And Madam Chair, it is easy to forget how the situation was at that time in March, when the whole world was dying away. In some instances, we are being told 1,000 people are dying per day. We are not ready. Everybody in the country is screaming for PPEs. It would be totally irresponsible for me to sit in my office and not ask my executives and not try to bring everybody together from KEMSA, the laboratories in Kemri, the laboratory in National Influenza Labs. I was bringing all these people together in settings so that we can be able to get a solution to a problem we knew nothing about, to a challenge we were not ready for. So, Madam Chair, I also communicated directly to the CEO and gave government policy. For example, I am the one who gave direct policy that going forth, because of the high cost of PPEs globally at that time, we were able and zeroed in on local production of the same materials, which cut the cost, Madam Chair, from 9,000 shillings, which was the global prices at that time, to 4,300 shillings, a cut down of over 50%. Now, Madam Chair, it's my job to communicate to the CEO and to say to him, government has made a policy decision that going forward, we are not importing PPEs, we are going to buy them from local approved suppliers. And Madam Chair, that is my job. That's what I should do. So I am at a loss. I was at a bit of a loss when I'm told that I am giving directives or I'm trying to influence, I'm putting pressure. Madam Chair, I put pressure on each and every person in my ministry at that time. And in fact, Madam Chair, what I should do is apologize and thank them for the pressure in which they were working under. And I think it is important, Madam Chair, also to remember, there is an old saying in English, when the war gets very hot, even the generals go to the war front. And for me to sit in my office and do nothing would be totally irresponsible. And therefore, and I answer this question, not just in regards to KEMSA, but also in regards to other institutions, and indeed, in regards to government management. That's what we do. That's what my job is. And that's what I must continue to do if we are going to be successful in this fight. Madam Chair, if I may give another example. I have spoken. I mean, the CEO of Kemri is here. We have been with him around the country. We were with him in Kilifi to try and detail and talk to people there about the possibilities of working for a vaccine, for this, against this disease. And I have been with Kombe to Kilifi for the same. That's my job, Madam Chair. It is my job to put people under pressure so that they can produce the results we are looking for. It is, however, not my job to tell anybody to commit any crime. It is not my job to advise anybody against anything that they are not supposed to do. And in the event that I told a CEO to do something that is against the law or something they were uncomfortable with, the normal thing to do in government is to say, give me what you are telling me in writing.
Point of order.
It is out of order. That's Honorable Tongoyo.
Question is, when did the Ministry of Health receive the consignments of donations from the Ministry of Transports? And I would like to clarify that and indeed confirm that it is very close to what was said by my colleague when he was responding, that the ministry received 3 consignments from the government clearing agency, Ministry of Transport, as follows. The Jack Ma donations on the 24th, first Jack Ma donation consignments, 24th of March, second Jack Ma donations, 15th, second one on the same, the second Jack Ma were received in 2 consignments, the first one on the 15th and the second one on the 28th. And the third Jack Ma consignment was received on the 24th of May 2020. And then question 4, I'm supposed to give an itemized detail of the consignment. And Madam Chair, the Ministry of Health, through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, received a note verbal with an attached packing list detailing the contents of the nation as explained in this document that you have, Annex 7. Madam Chair, on the issue of the status of medical supplies, and in particular, the personal protective equipment in the country at the moment. Madam Chair, the provision of the PPEs is a continuous exercise in COVID-19. And I would also like to clarify here, Madam Chair, that the PPE is an essential commodity in medical care, not just for COVID-19, but even for other conditions and other infectious diseases that we have. The only issue, of course, is that the speed at which we are using the current PPEs is very, very high. And Madam Chair, I think it is important for us to highlight to everybody, and to the committee in particular, that the biggest problem with these PPEs is that they are essentially not reusable. It's an item that costs 4,300, used once and disposed. And then we have got to get another one. And in fact, Madam Chair, if I may inform the committee, the exercise that is, some of the exercise going on now is to try and see whether we can be able to find ways and means of reusing some of these PPEs. But we cannot do so to risk doctors and nurses. We can only do so once they have proved that, that what I'm asking them is possible. And the demand, Madam Chair, will continue to be high for as long as the current nature of the disease continues. The PPEs in health facilities and communities have been availed by the Ministry of Health through procurement by KEMSA and supplemented by donations, as explained in this document in Annex 8. But there are also other sources, including procurement by county governments themselves, both from KEMSA and direct procurements from other sources, as we agreed, and the President waived the issue of procuring from KEMSA so that they can also buy from locally approved producers. But in addition, the COVID-19 Emergency Response Fund Board has distributed PPE kits to health facilities across the country. Using its capital fund, KEMSA procured also PPE kits, as was presented in their submission to this Committee of Health. I thank you, Madam Chair.